Okay, we're going to get started here. For the Lunch and Learn, if you come over here, you can get your card scanned. Stacy and Jamie will be scanning it. I want to thank everybody for coming today. And today's topic is 5 steps to your financial health. Sometimes with personal finances, it can be easy to understand but hard to implement. So today what we're going to be working on is implementing a financial plan. Also at the conclusion of this talk, we're going to have a video on Smart Dollar, and Smart Dollar is a Dave Ramsey class if you want to learn more about financial peace and financial planning. There's a sign up here for Smart Dollar. A little bit about my story, how I got interested with financial planning and finances. My name is Ryan Rowe, and I'm the quality tech here, and I had an opportunity at my church to become a financial mentor, and from financial mentor, I started learning Compass. I went to different classes and learned more and more about personal finances, and church really encouraged me to take the next step. And the next step was to get my certification. I became an investment advisor representative with my Series 65. So a little bit about my purpose and my vision. My purpose is still the same as Provia's purpose. And the purpose is to let our light shine before others so that they may see our good works and give glory to our Father who is in heaven. My vision is definitely just helping out people, however I can, to help people for the future. I'm a big follower of Andy Stanley. He's a pastor at a big mega church down in Atlanta, Georgia. And if you're wondering today about what's your purpose, what's your vision, ask this question to yourself. And the question is, what breaks your heart? When you answer that question, what breaks your heart, you can start understanding what your purpose, what your vision for the future. My investment disclosure is R&R Stewardship Partners, LLC is a registered investment advisor. Information presented is for educational purposes only and does not intend to make an offer or solicitation for the sale or purchase of any specific securities, investments, or investment strategies. Investments involve risk and unless otherwise stated are not guaranteed. Be sure to first consult with a qualified financial advisor and or tax professional before implementing any strategy discussed herein. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. Okay, now for the presentation. So, step 1 to your financial health. Step 1 is get out of debt. So, what are 5 life events that can get you in debt? I'm going to name number one, medical debt. And anybody else who names any more, I got Reese's and Snickers for you guys.
Credit card.
Credit card? What do you want?
Mortgage. House payment.
Reese's and Snickers. Snickers? There you go. Anybody else?
No, I don't want candy.
Yeah.
I don't want candy.
Okay. Dora, you got, what was your answer? Huh? Yes, what did you want? Snickers or Reese? Evan, what did you have?
Mortgage.
Mortgage? Yeah, good job. But yeah, you know, when you think about life events, life is going to come up, and there are going to be times when we do get in debt. So what do we do when we do get in debt? Has anybody heard the term debt snowball before? But with the debt snowball, what we're trying to do is we're trying to list the lowest debt dollar amount down to the highest amount. Instead of looking at the rate of return, how much percentage we're paying, we're looking at the lowest dollar to the highest dollar. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get that momentum of, yes, I can get debt-free. Eliminate one debt by one debt by one debt. Now, moving on to retirement planning. Retirement planning is the same goal of positioning yourself to be debt-free. When you're debt-free in retirement, it's just a lot less stress on retirement. Biblical reference for getting out of debt comes from Proverbs 22:7. And Proverbs 22:7 states, just as the rich rule the poor, so as the borrower is servant to the lender. Any questions on getting out of debt? Okay. My question is there ever a situation where debt can be good? Anybody want to answer? Anybody?
Short term, if
Rick?
you want to establish credit.
Yeah, I was gonna say establish.
Short term, yeah, if you want to get a little bit of credit, yeah, you can. It's easy if you're younger to start establishing a little bit of credit. Another, if you purchase a vehicle too and getting a little bit of credit. Also, a situation where debt may be good if you have good cash flow. You're thinking about businesses. If you have that good cash flow coming in, if you have a rental property, having that cash flow coming in. So you're kind of thinking like an accountant, and you're kind of thinking of what the cash flow is. I'm never going to recommend getting into debt, but if you do have a plan, a short-term plan of getting out of debt, debt, isn't 100% awful. So moving on, step number two. Step number 2 is creating a budget. So what is a budget? A budget is basically a categorized spending plan. How many people here do have a budget? There's more than that, I hope. Nobody wants to raise their hands today. But yeah, statistically, people who do have budgets, there's about 50% of Americans do have a budget. So there is work to do in this category. So for me, having a budget, having a spending plan is critical. So outside of having a spending plan is creating a system that works for you. Dave Ramsey's really big on the envelope system. If you do use a lot of debit cards online, there's mint.com that you can easily categorize your expenses. Some people like to keep receipts and categorize receipts. Basically, though, it's categorizing your spending so you're knowing where your money is going. Biblical reference for creating a budget comes from Proverbs 24:27. And Proverbs 24:27 states, "Do your planning and prepare your fields before building your house." So any questions on creating a budget? We good? My question is, what do you do if your spouse does not like to do a budget? Anybody want to answer that one? Go ahead, Matt.
You show them the value of it.
Yeah, that.
I was the spouse that hated budget.
Yeah, it can definitely not be any fun. What do you want, Reese's or Snickers?
I want to lose weight.
Okay, good. One thing that I do recommend, if you do have spouse or two people that don't like to do a budget, what I recommend doing is do something afterwards that you like to do. Maybe it's going out for pizza. Maybe it's ice cream or doing something together. But two becoming one is very important, and doing something that can make it a little bit more enjoyable. So moving on, step number 3. Step number 3 is act your wage. So I do a lot of budget counseling, a lot of budget coaching. I see a lot of different budgets. And the number one thing that I'm seeing that are killing family budgets is utilities. And inside utilities specific is cell phones. And what I'm seeing for cell phone plans, anywhere for family budgets, $200 to $300 for cell phone plans, and house payments from $300 to $400. So people are paying almost as much for their cell phone as they are their house payment. So if you get one thing from this presentation is take a look at your budget, see where you're spending with utilities, and consider, maybe adjusting something, maybe changing something. Just see what works with your budget. My pastor, he likes to say, if you have $10, give $1, save $1, pay your taxes, and the rest is for you to spend. So that's one way of acting your wage. For my story, or my personal story lately, has been medical bills. The last few months ran into some medical bills, and without a budget, I didn't know, what to cut, what to lower in my own budget to make the dollars work. Biblical reference from acting your wage comes from Proverbs 21:20. And Proverbs 21:20 states, "The wise have wealth and luxury, but fools spend whatever they get." Any questions on acting your wage? Okay, my question is, how do you relate to a spouse that is a spender? If you're a saver, how do you relate to a spouse that is a spender? No answers? For that, with the marriage, you got one person that's a saver, one person that's a spender. You're really looking at communication and working together. The more you communicate together, the more you work together, the better the situation is going to be. It may be for the saver, he's got to learn to spend a little bit. Maybe for the spender, got to learn to save a little bit. So there's a balance there, and it's balancing each person. Moving on, step number 4 is begin to save and invest. How much emergency fund should you have? Any answers? Yep, yeah, 3 to 6 months. And for a lot of production, we're on an incentive-based pay, and you want to try to stretch more to that 6-month range, because in the wintertime, your income is going to go low, while fall, with the income going up. If you have that emergency savings, it's very easy to balance it out in the wintertime with an incentive pay. Now for retirement or investing, how many people here would like to get a raise? Anybody? We got a couple people? Okay, we got a few people that want to get a raise. But one of the easiest ways here to get a raise is by investing in your company's 401k. We are very lucky here with the Provia 401k. For every dollar, they're putting in 50 cents for up to 10%. And it is definitely one of the easier ways to give yourself a raise by investing in your company's 401k. Now the investment side, what are we looking at? The number one thing for investments is balancing risk versus return. When we answer that question, how much risk we want to take, we know how much return we're looking for. So if you're going to be more of a risk taker, you're going to look at a portfolio more in stocks. While if you want to take less risk, you're looking at more of a portfolio of bonds and money markets. So the biggest question with investment planning or investment future is balancing out risk versus return. Biblical reference for beginning to save and invest, it comes from Proverbs 13:11. And Proverbs 13:11 states, "Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it." Any questions on saving and investing? Okay. Last step. Step number 5. Step number 5 is start to give. The number one thing here, it's probably the number one thing that I have to say is just starting to give is probably the most important step. Starting to give, how does it make you feel when you help someone? Anyone want to answer that? Yep.
Feels good.
Feels good. Anybody else? Yeah, definitely, 100%. It feels good, blesses you. It's me becoming less and God becoming bigger in your life, and helping out people is definitely, is such a blessing to be able to help people. And also with starting to give, it's the number one thing, or not the number one thing, but it's the one thing that God says to test him, the one area to test him. And the biblical reference for testing God with giving comes from Malachi 3:10. And Malachi 3:10 states, "Bring all the tithes into the storehouse, so there will be enough food in my temple. If you do, says the Lord of heaven's armies, I will open the windows of heaven for you. I will pour out a blessing so great you won't have enough room to take it in. Try it. Put me to the test." Amazing verse. Powerful verse. In summary, I'm here to help. Also, Dave Miller in Marketing, Walnut Creek. If you have questions on finances, throw them to us. You can email, call me, see me, or Dave, he has the same availability too. We're going to move into a little preview of Smart Dollar. And Smart Dollar this year is going to have a little bit of a different format, and it's going to be online, and you're going to have 3 months to complete it. And I believe the company is going to first charge you $120 for it, but then they're going to come, after you complete the class, they're going to credit you $120. So basically, it's a free class, and it's really, I mean, there's so many great testimonials that come out of the class. So I'm going to play it now.
The average American pays out 1/4 of their take-home pay in debt payments. How much could you save if you didn't have any payments? How much could you invest in your 401k, your kid's college fund, if you didn't have any payments? Don't wake up 5 years from now and be the guy that goes, man, I wished. The time to start is right now. Personal finance is not about numbers. It's about behaviors.
Well, you got to be focused. When you can calculate and understand that I'm paying interest, it's a penalty, and if I'm earning it, it's a reward, that's a game changer.
You don't want to get to the end of your life and have nothing in your retirement account because you didn't make the money that you have behave.
The flow of money in a household really represents the value system under which the household operates.
It's time for us to redefine retirement. It's not an age, it's a financial number.
Normal in America is work your whole life and have nothing to show for it and be broke. You do not have to be normal. You got to reach that moment in time where you say, I've had it. What's in your wallet? Money. You can do this stuff if you just keep taking steps, even if they're baby steps. You eventually get to win.
Do this for your marriage. Do this for your family, for your kids, for your legacy.
You are taking control of your life and your money in a proactive, empowered way, and you're going to change your destiny.
Yep. Yeah, it's very, very powerful stuff, the Smart Dollar program. So if you're thinking maybe or I'm not sure, I 100% say, take time out and take the class. It's excellent. If you have any questions, just let me know. And we're going to be scanning the Lunch and Learn, the Inspire cards too afterwards. You want good? Okay. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.